So episode 9 of MMO Junkie comes to a close, and I have to say, depending on how next week's goes, easily be the perfect 10 episode series that I've ever seen. Because 10 episodes can be a little too short, or you're just left wanting more, and I don't expect episode 10 is going to wrap up with them in a relationship, mainly just because this is based on an ongoing source material. However, I really hope that even if it doesn't happen in the manga, the anime studio goes the route of ending them in a relationship, because if they did that, this would be the proper paced series that we deserve here, because nothing seems like it's getting dragged out, and this is the perfect opportunity to end them in a relationship and have it be satisfactory so we never need to see more. However, I do expect that next week is going to wrap up as them staying friends, and then obviously in the manga as it went on, they would probably grow into something more. And if it does happen that way, it's fine, but it won't be amazing like I think the series could end up being if they build it and end it in a proper fashion, but only next week will tell us. Because even if they don't end up in a relationship within that apartment or something in next week's episode in the manga, the anime studio definitely could go that route, especially because I've heard the manga hasn't been releasing chapters that often because of the manga author's health. So I'm hopeful that maybe we will just get something anime original that will just kind of tie this package up, because I love this series, and I think if it has the great ending that I hope it can achieve, this will be one of the best series of the year, hands down. And episode 9 was good. I really like the way Sakurai and Mori's relationship kind of evolved after that bombshell last week, and how you can tell both are kind of flustered and embarrassed, not knowing what to do because all this information has been dropped. And can they really just go back to interacting how they were in the game? You would think yes, but still you can understand why Sakurai is kind of embarrassed, kind of hiding himself. And then when it comes to Mori, she kind of thinks, well, the one person who I've been able to kind of talk with and not feel at a place with is now this kind of hot guy who she feels like she can't even be around because people will judge him for being with someone older, which I've mentioned it before. I never knew this until someone pointed it out in the comments. Apparently a female who's single over 25 is considered like just not worthy, and like people like look down on women like that, which Japan is full of weird things, and sometimes that weird thing can actually make for an interesting product. But the way apparently single women over 25 are considered like not worthy of a man's love or something, it's just like, how stupid can you be? So it makes sense why she's acting the way she is, but of course Sakurai doesn't see her that way, and obviously he loves her and wants attention. But I have to give major props that I've always been on the side that his best friend there is not trying to steal Mori away from him, and I know a lot of people thought that is the route they're ultimately going to go, that was going to be like the third wheel that was going to be kind of like cock-blocking him. But no, he is still 100% the best wingman after that night of drinking, literally setting them up in the park because they've kind of been avoiding each other, and he admits all of his feelings after getting just blackout drunk. I love how much of a wingman he's been this entire season, honestly. If they can end it in a relationship, this is going to be one of the best 10 episode series ever. It's properly paced, nothing's feeling dragged out. We're not getting this like, oh, and here's the childhood friend who also played a game with Mori, and that's going to cause an extra 12 episodes. Looking at you, Nisekoi. I like how everything just feels so natural in this series, and even though some of this is a little too like, how can they meet so many times throughout their life, it doesn't feel like anything's being dragged. And if they can end this in a relationship, and it doesn't matter if it hasn't happened in the manga yet, because this could go anime original for its final episode, which I'm hoping it will, or it just, they do end up in a relationship, because I don't want to see it end in a cliffhanger, which I don't think they're going to end it in a cliffhanger in the sense of like, we're never going to know an answer. I think it's either going to be one of two things. Either they're going to end up staying as friends, but very good friends, understanding that they can still carry on as they have been, or they're going to end up in a relationship. But I think it'd be a wasted potential if they don't end it in a relationship, even if it hasn't happened in the source material. That's the way they should go. But I have to say, the way this anime has been using its art direction is fantastic. Like from Mori kind of like passed out and she gets like kind of like woke up from the text or whatever, and she kind of flips out, and all those little chibi moments, the way they really twist the art style to really land a lot of comedic timing moments is just absolutely splendid, on top of a great soundtrack to back everything, especially the embarrassed voice for both Sakurai as well as Mori. It was just adorable to see how flustered they were getting, but I also felt a lot of emotion coming from both of their voice actors, and I just love this series. It's sad to see it go next week, but depending on how it goes next week, this could be the perfect length series for something such as this, and I hope it doesn't let us down, but really only time will tell. But I'm interested in hearing, what is everyone thinking of this episode? Do you love it? Do you hate it? And how do you think next week is going to go down? Do you think they're going to leave us on like they're going to stay friends, or do you think they're going to completely go left field and actually end them in a relationship, which we typically don't see in anime, especially a 10 episode one? Let me know your thoughts, and before I leave, smack the like button to show your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.